Hi, everybody. Whoops, I gotta turn my microphone on. Welcome in if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today is Friday, August 30th. This is, obviously, you already know what the title is. This is a very different reading from what I normally do. This has been on my mind. My guides have been sort of urging me, sort of pushing me to do a reading about this for quite some time. It started basically with the dragons bringing in a message. I don't remember when it was, a while ago, about the USA, the elections, the politics, the energy around that, and they are worried about things that are going to happen as we approach this election in November of this year. So September, October, we've only got a few more weeks until it's there. So they've literally made me think about this over and over again every single day. Yesterday, I did some research on Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance in preparation for this. And I do want to say right at the beginning, I do not have cable TV. I do not watch the news. I do not watch debates. I do not watch any of that stuff. Last year, long after a debate, or the last debate between Trump and Biden, I watched bits and pieces of it just so I could, get a handle on it. But it's not something that I am into. I'm sick and tired of what goes on regarding politics in this country and around the world. So the whole reason that my guides and the dragons want me to do this is because they're saying fierce reminder that everybody on this planet is a human being, that everybody on this planet is here for a purpose, and that we are forgetting that, or some people just don't even realize that that is the truth. That we all have a purpose for being here. Some of us are a catalyst for things to happen. Some circumstances are a catalyst for things to happen. Some people are here to fix things. Some people are here to catalyze, basically, is what they're giving me. So this reading is going to have really nothing to do with politics whatsoever. This reading is going to be about the people, the human beings that these three are. And we are going to pull cards on each one of them. And what my guides and the dragons and Mother Mary want you to remember is that everybody is a human being. I don't want to be judged for the job that I do. I am not a front desk person, and that's who I am. That's the job that I do, okay? I have personal points of view and views, and I don't want people to judge me for those. I also have a heart and a soul, and that is the real me, and that is the real me of these candidates, if you will. But what we're going to be pulling cards on is, and I know I'm taking a risk here, some people may hate this. I'm going to leave the comments on, but if there's a lot of hating and comments that are derogatory or judgmental, I'll have to turn them off. What I'm hoping is that my followers are going to be open to just hearing what the guides and the cards have to say about these people as human beings. Excuse me, as souls that are walking this earth with their own path and their own purpose, okay? So we're going to start with Kamala Harris. Her name is excuse me, I don't know why my throat is doing this. Her name is Kamala Devi Harris. Kamala means lotus. Devi means goddess. Harris means son of Harry. I just looked up those out of curiosity. She was born October 20th. She is a Libra. That stands for balance. The Justice card is her card. She is an air sign, and she's ruled by Venus. She was born in Oakland, California. She formerly was the Attorney General of California and a U.S. Senator in California. She was the first female African American and Asian American in those respective jobs. She has lobbied for gun control, for cannabis legalization, for health care, and for tax reform. So, excuse me, she has gone out on a limb for some of the things that she believes in. I am not saying that I agree or disagree. Please understand, this is only about the person, okay? Her mother was a biologist and her father was an economics professor at Stanford. So that is the information on Kamala the person that I looked up. Okay, so before I started this reading, I just did some pre-shuffles. I like to see when it's just me right after my meditation, what do the cards give me? Okay, so the first card out for Kamala was the number 24, time for a nap. And I bet she wishes that she could take a nap, right? I mean, no matter whether we agree or disagree, what she does and what the job that she has, the title she holds is difficult, period. We can all sit here and be armchair vice presidents, armchair presidents, armchair candidates, but we don't know what it's really like unless we've done it. Okay, so please remember that. I love this card. The Oracle's face is up here in the sky. It's a crescent moon with a little fox napping. I think it's a fox. I'm pretty sure it's a fox. Number 24, 6, harmony. Time for a nap. Rest, rejuvenation. Renewal, temporary non-action, and allowing dreams to arise. That's quite a card, if you ask me. The next card that came out is number 27, which is a 9, which is accomplishment, exchanging gifts. I did find this quite interesting. The law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing the costs and determining the value. And this could very well be something that she is doing right now regarding this running for office thing. Weighing up, is this really worth it? Should I do this? What are the costs and benefits? You know, how will this work? And then I was guided to use the Saints and Mystics deck. I haven't used that in a while. I don't use it a lot. The card that came out is number 10. 10s are completion and then starting a new journey. This is Saint Lucy, fierce strength. Saint Lucy, also known as Lucia of Syracuse, was a young Christian martyr and venerated saint from 283 A.D. Her father died when she was 5 years old, leaving her and her mother without a protective guardian. As she grew, Lucy vowed to consecrate her life to God and assist the poor from her own family's wealth, giving. Lucy received visions from saints before her. Saint Agatha once appeared in her dreams when her mother became ill and helped miraculously cure her mother of an illness. As an adult, Lucy was determined to keep herself romantically untouched and at one point deformed her own appearance to deter her suitors' advances. On uncovering her Christian faith, the Roman governor sentenced Lucy to forced prostitution as punishment. But when the guards tried to carry her away, her body became as heavy as stone and they were unable to move her. The governor, enraged, attempted to torture Lucy, once gouging out her eyes only for her sight to miraculously become restored. He attempted to burn her alive, but the flames kept burning out and she remained unharmed. In the end, it was the fatal blade of a knife that took Lucy's life. a finality to her long suffering and brutal torture. Despite early official and unofficial accounts of her story, there is some debate around the mysteries of her life. She is now well beloved as a folk saint associated closely with magical work, spells, and witches. Now, this to me is telling me, and what my guides are giving me, is that Kamala will rise above whether she wins or loses. But as a person, as a soul, as a human, she will persevere because of her strength, because she is strong enough to endure all of this. That no matter who tries to tear her down or discredit her, that she will come out of it okay, regardless, okay? She cultivates self-perseverance and determination of life and soul. She disempowers all holds of negative manipulations and purifies the mind of doubts and nervous energy. She induces clear meditation and dissolves psychic interference. So, Saint Lucy, fierce strength. Anyone who is taking on the role that Kamala is taking and has taken has to be a strong person. I mean, there's no way around it. So, well, they want me to use the gold foil. Okay. So, as I said, we're just delving into the energy of Kamala, the person. This is not meant to tell you anything about voting or politics. What we are doing, what my guides want to do, is bring a human side to these people who are in the spotlight, who are constantly ridiculed and demeaned and spoken about in derogatory ways. They want us to remember they are human beings living out a purpose, following a path that was told to them, to their souls, long before they came to earth. Before they even incarnated, they knew what they were taking on. So, like I said, I know nothing about her politics, her views, her anything. I don't follow that stuff. Which is why I was so nervous to do this in the first place. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. And my guides are like, you don't have to. We don't want you to talk about her politics, her views, or anything. We want you to talk about her as a human being, as a person, as a soul created with a loving spark, part of the source. We are all one. The dragons are very forceful. I know I'm probably not talking like I normally do. I can actually feel it. I can feel the urgency, I guess, is how it feels to me, of this message. The World is the first card out. The World is an ending, a completion of something. And this, like I said, we're talking about people. So a cycle will end for her. Sorry, a bunch of cards just fell out. I guess it was only 2 cards. All right, let me put these up here. Upside down. I'll find out if they want me to read that reversed. Both of those cards were reversed. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll see what the guides want. I'm already hearing. Thank you. So they're telling me that those cards dropping to the floor is significant, and it is talking about her exhaustion. That she is exhausted, but she feels like she has a duty to continue, even though she's exhausted. Wow, that's really, really kind of sad. More reversed cards. I will ask my guides in a moment if they want those reversed. Please, we have to remember that she's human. We have to remember that she is a beautiful soul, that she has a spark of light in her heart, as we all do. I don't think any of us would ever want to be judged on everything that we do and say. I don't think any of us would want cameras in our faces talking about our missteps, our mistakes, our bad choices, because we've all made them. So if anything, my guides are hoping that those of you that do watch the news, the debates, the elections, to look at Ms. Harris with, or Mrs., she's married. Look at her with loving eyes as another human soul. And don't get irritated by the job she's doing and trying to do, by the path that her soul is on. Okay? Wow. Okay, we need one more card, please. One more. Okay, let me reshuffle. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I know that's loud. Spirit, can we have one more card? Can we have one more card, please? They said we want you to take the last card from the Wizard of Oz deck. Okay, fine. Okay. Wizard of Oz. Well, it's Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. My stomach is growling. I don't like to eat a lot before I do readings. I like to be super tuned in when I meditate and when I do this. I don't like my body to be concentrating on digesting food while I'm trying to tune in to my guides. It's the same when I do a reading. Okay. What's the card that you wanted from this deck, please? What's the card? Spirits, dragons, Mother Mary. Oh, I was prompted to use the Mother Mary spray first so that I could do this with love. And then, and then the dragon spray, because the dragons are the ones that are very, very concerned about politics in the USA and what's going on and what's going to happen. Okay. First card out was the World. This is, oh gosh, do I have to cover? Why do they do this? So this is completion. The number is 21, which is a 3, creation, collaboration. But the World card is the completing of a cycle. That seems obvious. The completing of the cycle of the vice presidency is what my guides are saying. Yes, that's correct. That cycle is completing. She will start a new cycle. And remember, the St. Lucie card was a 10, which is also completing and then starting a new cycle. I asked about this Four of Swords, card. They want it, yes, reversed, because while she needs to and should take a rest and meditate, that's what this card is about. Resting after lots of words, and then having your other sword words, thoughts ready to pick up. They want it to be reversed because they want all of us, all of you, me, you, everybody to understand how difficult the position is that she's in with. She can't take a rest. She can't just say, all right, I'm going to take a vacation and not do anything, because her role doesn't allow for that. All right. The next card is the Four of Pentacles. This is another 4. Is this reversed? Okay, yes. So if this is upright, this is a card about what you keep and what you give. How much do you keep? How much do you give? How much do you say? How much do you keep to yourself? And my guide said keep it reversed because she doesn't have a choice in a lot of things. She can't keep to herself. She's constantly under scrutiny from the media, from other politicians, from constituents, from probably her family. She's unable to say, well, I just want to keep this to myself. It doesn't work like that for her. Everything is out there. So yeah, we really need to think about this, folks, and remember that she's a human being. All right, so King of Cups is the next one that came out reversed. Yeah. And yes, and I don't usually read reversals, but I'm listening to my guides on this because this is foreign for me to try to do a reading like this. But I have to listen to them, and after a couple of weeks of them hammering it to me, I had to do it. So King of Cups upright it's the romantic king, the king of love, the king of nurturing. But in this, he is extremely bored. He wants something new. He wants a new challenge. He wants something new in romance, something new. Reversed, they're telling us she can't do anything about the love, the nurturing, the personal relationships are in a back seat right now because of the position that she's in. She's not able to be as much of a loving, caring partner. I don't even know if she has kids, daughter, sister, wife, whatever the case, because there's too much else going on where she has to expend the energy there. So that's kind of in the back for her right now. I just want to I feel like there's something I'm missing about that card. Melancholy, unhappy, wants to be anywhere but here. Okay, so yeah. There's a longing in your heart as if gaining all your accomplishments, you have lost touch with your creative side. And that's would be the upright meaning. I don't know if it tells me. I'm looking at a book right now. I just happen to have it sitting here on my desk, and maybe there's no mistakes. Yeah, so in the reverse, there's the potential of growing bitter and resentful. So rather than being loving and nurturing. But I think, my guides are saying that the bigger message is that we need to realize that right now she has to be focused on what is going on in her life politically and with the responsibilities that she carries at the moment. And then we have the Queen of Wands. This is a fiery queen. This is feminine energy, which would be her. She is a Libra. Maybe she has a fire sign that's a rising sign, because this is definitely her. This Queen of Wands is passionate, is ready for action. The fact that she has a cat there shows that she can tread lightly when need be. Okay, if needed, she can tread lightly. But this is big feminine energy. And then that card they wanted from the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland deck is the Star. This card can represent Aquarius, but this is Glinda, the Good Witch. My guides are never wrong. So what I'm feeling from this, what they're saying, my guides, is that there is good in everyone. Remember how we talked about her inner spark? We have to remember this. What's the number of this card? I can't see because it's gold. 17, which is an 8, mastery. So the key words for the Star card are hope, faith, renewal, inspiration. What was the other card we had renewal with? It might have been the Saint. Oh no, it was the take a nap. Time for a nap, right? That was about renewal. Serenity, peace, healing, compassion, generosity, selflessness, love, beauty, and the crown chakra. As the most powerful witch in Oz, Glinda inspires with her wisdom. Her presence radiates solace and optimism, nurturing self-belief and inner strength. And my phone alarm was going off then. Remember, whenever we have noises like that that come in, that's kind of spirit putting an exclamation point. Her presence radiates solace and optimism, nurturing self-belief and inner strength, lighting the path to a brighter future. Believe in yourself and never give up on your dreams. Second time dreams has come in with the oracle cards before it did. With courage, determination, and a little bit of magic, anything is possible. So again, I'm not saying, I don't know what her political future is going to be, but this is definitely a card, and I'm getting goosebumps just looking at it, and that to remind us to have hope, to remind us that everybody is human, that everybody has a soul, that everybody is on their own path. I just can't say it enough. They just keep on hammering that home to me, that we have to remember her as a human being. She is working out and playing out her role on this earth as it was determined before her little soul came down here. Okay? Now, I'm going to get an animal card. I'm not going to do an overly long analytical reading about this. My guides just really want me to bring the human side of these three politicians to the forefront. And, please just be aware of that. That's their message. We cannot let this election turn things into hate. We cannot do that again. Okay. Raven, shaman. We simply cannot let things get out of control with our emotions. We have to stay grounded and remember who we are. We're humans. We are made in the image of God. We are from source, and we are all one. What we do to others, we do to ourselves. Okay? We need to remember that. Raven, shaman is the first animal oracle out. Hold on, I can't see that. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to adjust where my Jeepers Creepers. Oh, it won't let me do it. All right, I'll have to do this. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. She is an air sign, so words are important. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. So for her, Raven, shaman. Ravens are also known to be messengers. So keep that in mind. Puffin, partnership. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. Yeah, I mean, for Kamala, I doubt she'll ever see this video. But, yeah, I definitely think that she needs friends and family around her to kind of buoy her up, I'm hearing. To kind of buoy her up and help her through this. And, if anything, we can send her love. We can all send her love as she's navigating through this really difficult time. This is not easy. This is no picnic. So please remember her humanness. Please remember her soul. Please remember that she is very brave in taking on the responsibility of this for her soul's journey. Okay? Now I'm going to pause the camera. And we're going to, I think I'm going to do J.D. Vance next, and I'll save Donald J. Trump for last. So J.D. Vance coming up. Okay, so we're back. All right, so before, as I said before, I like to do pre-shuffles when it's quiet and it's just me and the camera's not rolling, so I can really concentrate on, what it is that the guides want to bring through. So I started shuffling one deck and they said, nope, that's not the one. They wanted Starry Beginnings. So I got two cards came out from Starry Beginnings. And then I went to get a different deck and they said, no, the Dragon deck. And I was just staring up at it and I was like, okay, is that the one? Is that the one? Which one of the Dragon decks? Because I have two. And then I grabbed the notebook to look, and sure enough, he's a Leo, which is a fire sign, which the Dragon deck I got was for them. This is why I'm always saying that my guides are never wrong. If I tune in and listen, I always get the right answer. All right, so J.D. Vance, who is, I believe, going to be or is Trump's running mate or being considered. As I told you in the beginning, I don't watch politics or anything like that, but this name was brought to my attention. I think my son was the one who told me about it. So his name, James David Vance. And also, he's changed his last name twice. I think he was born, I don't even know if I wrote, Bowman. So James means control of your own actions. David is beloved, and Vance means marshland, which he could very well be in right now. He was born on August 2nd. He's a Leo. That is a fire sign. The sun is what represents Leo in the sun is the ruling planet of Leo, and the strength card is the card of the tarot that represents Leo. So he had a very tough childhood. He joined the Marines. He went to college and got political science and philosophy degrees. He changed his last name before graduating from Yale, then became a corporate lawyer, and then a venture capitalist. He wrote the book, and I did not know this until I was doing the research, Hillbilly Elegy. And I did watch that movie. I didn't read the book, but I did watch that movie. And he is a U.S. Senator. So he's had quite a life, apparently. And remember, this reading is about him, the human being, and has nothing to do with his politics, but it has everything to do with him as a human being. This is why my guides want me to do this. They want you to remember that these people are human beings, despite what they are doing, what they're called to do. Yeah, what they're called to do, what they signed up for, what their soul's incarnation signed up for. So the Dragon Star Oracle that came out is 21, Resilience, Finding Your Limits. So he could be a very ambitious, as a Leo, he could be a very ambitious person, and he may need to find his limits, and he may be finding his limits now as he's embarking on this journey with Trump. It's a number 21, which is a 3, which is creation and collaboration. So finding your limits. Enough is enough. There comes a time when the fire within burns brightly with an intuition shouting forth, it is time. Time to know when to quit. Oh boy. Baby, it's cold outside. Look within for that inner warmth and knowledge of self. Set boundaries. Know your limits. Find what works for you right now. The outside world is irrelevant. The entire universe resides inside you. So this could be, what my guides are giving me is putting yourself out there for a vice presidency or what have you, even a U.S. senator for that matter, or a venture capitalist. Anything that you do means people will scrutinize you. You will find yourself under scrutiny. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to.
Unknown caller.
Unknown caller. Okay, I can't deal with that right now. Sorry, you're going to have to, it'll stop in a minute. Find what works for you right now because the outside world is irrelevant. Limits were made to be surpassed and finish lines crossed. You know your limit, but after a certain point, you will re-emerge to tackle a new challenge, stronger and better than before. You bounce back. You are resilient. It's time to push it to the limit and beyond. Setting boundaries and knowing your limit when to say when require a lot of self-reflection and meditation. Take time out of your day to establish what works for you. Listen to your inner voice. Once you have established your stance and retreated to safety, you can bounce back better than ever with resiliency, power, and grace. It's about retreating within and then getting right back on the playing field when the time comes. So, what I would be reading this message as is that he's going to need to take some time of reflection for sure. He's going to need to decide what boundaries that he can set in this situation as a human being, right? What are the boundaries that he needs to set? Where is it that he will not go? What is it that he will not say? That's what I'm feeling. That's what they're giving me. That he's going to have to figure that out. From the starry beginnings, trust in your new path. All will work out for you. That's a 43, which is a 7, which is also reflection, right? 7 is a derivative of 21. So reflection came out in the resilience card, and it comes out again in trust in your new path. Next one is a number 6. This is harmony. Remember, love is the key. Love what you have in your life right now. And the message that they're giving me about that is that everything is about to change, and that he should, not that he's going to listen to this, but we need to remember that he, and even we, when we're embarking on something new, we need to cherish what we already have. The peace and quiet, or the privacy that he once had, is about to be no more. So he's going to need to, hopefully he's going to take some time to just stop, reflect, think about how things are right now, what things are like right now, before he takes that step out into scrutiny. And remember, this is about the energy of the person. It's not about what they stand for, what their beliefs, what their politics, whatever. It's not about that. This is about him as a person. And we all need to have not necessarily sympathy, but maybe empathy for his position in this, and for the fact that his life is going to be forever changed, and that setting boundaries will be important to preserve whatever he can. Like for Kamala, she doesn't really have that choice because of her accepting the vice presidency, being the running mate of Joe Biden, and then them getting into office. I don't know where she ever finds privacy. So for J.D. Vance, this is about to become his reality. You know, the not being able to set boundaries or have privacy. You know, I don't know. There may be boundaries that he can set with himself. Places, like we said, like the guides brought through, places that he is not willing to go. Things that he's not willing to say. Compromises I'm hearing that he's not willing to make. So as a Leo, he's pretty fiery. I don't know what his rising sign is. It would be nice to know. And I haven't viewed him. I don't know anything about him. So, but keeping something close. We'll turn these over in a minute. They're just, I don't know. My guides are funny. This is such a different reading than I've ever done. Such a different reading. Just please remember he's human. Please remember that he is on his path. He's on the path that his soul agreed to take. And I don't know what's in store for him for the future, but I have a feeling that his life is never going to be the same because he was thrust into the spotlight. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that was weird. I don't think you guys could catch that on camera, but one card flipped over on the top of the deck and two cards flipped over on the bottom of the deck. Wow, he got the World just like Kamala did. All right, so the first card out, the King of Pentacles. Okay, this is a king that has created a gorgeous life, a beautiful life. He's worked very, very hard for everything that he has. And according to, was this card upside down? I think it was. You probably saw me. I believe I turned it over and then flipped it right side up. Okay, which makes sense. Hopefully that is. I'm pretty sure I remember that's what I did. So this king, after he's created all this, he is tired. He is ready for rest. He wants to set down his responsibilities. But in the reverse, it's the opposite of that. He's ready to go, ready for the responsibility. So now I'm going to be careful about turning this one over. I'm going to turn it over just like this. All right, right side up. New journey. What did we have, right? The new path. Now here's new journey. We had setting boundaries. There's everything about a new journey for J.D. Vance right now. The Chariot. As you know, this is a victory card. But it's a victory with a conundrum, I like to say. That's what my guides always give me. God, why won't this stay focused? I'm getting frustrated. So this is a victory. However, Sphinxes do not pull chariots. This card can also represent Cancer. But this is a victory which leads to some sort of riddle, conundrum, something that needs to be figured out. That makes total sense, right? If, for instance, his victory is winning in the election, however that may be, there's a lot to figure out after that. If his victory is something that doesn't have to do with the election, I don't know what that would be, but Justice, balance. Lady Justice is blindfolded here. She has things in her hands that she can't see how to balance. This represents the person, the sitter. So J.D. Vance is right in between the scales of justice and balance. This can represent Libra as well. Libra was Kamala's sign, remember? So this is Kamala's card. Interesting. I wonder what is Trump's sign? Gemini. Okay. And then here we have J.D. Vance's card. This is the Strength card. This is Leo. This is inner strength. But this is him being himself. And I think he doesn't have a problem being himself because of what he's been through in his upbringing. The World card, which also came out for Kamala. So funny. They both got the World, which is the completion of a cycle. So whether his cycle completes with winning this election or whether it completes with something else, his life is not going to be the same. That victory card is right over the World card in their positions. That Fool card right there above that Strength card, that New Journey card here. The ready for responsibility and justice, balancing things out. Wowzers, guys. So with J.D. Vance, I get, it's a totally different feel. When I was reading on Kamala, I felt softer. I felt a feminine strength. I felt a nervousness. I felt tension. With his reading, I feel a different sort of tension. I feel like a horse in the starting gate of a thoroughbred race, right? I feel like for him, it's just, let me out of here. Let me go. Let me get there. Let me get this done. Let me do this, which would fit with Leo, right? But remember, the whole point of this reading is that we need to not judge the path that they're on. When you see him in the news, on videos, in the newspaper, in the whatever, I'm urging that everybody look at him in a loving way. Send him love, send him peace, strength to get through whatever he needs to get through. And look, the light is right on the Strength card. Nothing is an accident. So whatever happens, That's what's supposed to happen. So the light is on him. The spotlight is on him. I'm sure he's about to get scrutinized by, you know, all of just the way that it goes with American politics. People are going to try to drag his name through the mud and say all kinds of things bad about him, and it makes me exhausted to think about it. Dragonfly magic. Oh my gosh. Okay. Same two cut. Now this is so weird. So this card came out of the deck. These two cards flipped over together. I did not put them back in the deck side by side. These are Kamala's cards that she got. Dragonfly magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. This came out for him. Dragonfly magic. Whoops, I didn't. Sorry. Dragonfly magic. Transformation. That's what Dragonfly is all about. Now, the two cards that came out for Kamala, I can't believe this. I'm blown away by this. So I'm wondering, and because they got, the world card is the same. They both got that. This is her card. So, gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. It feels like the two of them are either going to talk or work together or work something out. I don't know. I don't know why her cards would come out. I'm getting goosebumps everywhere right now. So the Puffins partnership, the Raven Shaman coming out for him, and then for her, and then flipping over together in his reading. All right, something, I don't know, folks. I don't know what means, but it seems to me like there's going to be something between the two of them. Not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I trust my guides. All right, now I'm going to pause it and we'll move on to Donald J. Trump. Okay, guys, here we go. Now, this is going to be Donald John Trump. He was born June 14th. He is a Gemini, which is the twins, two sides, two personalities. I think we all get that. He was born in Queens, New York. So the card is, so Geminis are outgoing. The tarot card is the Lovers, which is the choice card. Choice has been a big thing for him. Gemini is also an air sign and ruled by Mercury, which is the messenger. He graduated from college with an economics degree. He became president of his father's real estate business, which he renamed the Trump Organization. He started to focus on new builds of large buildings such as skyscrapers, casinos, hotels, and also golf courses. He was the 45th president. He also was known for his international communications while he was in the presidency. Most of the info that's out there on Trump, as I researched, has more to do with gossip than truth. Of course, for him, because he was the president, he's been so much in the news, I know more about him or have heard more about him than anyone else. There are lots of things that he did that were good that are just kept out of the spotlight. Now, I am not doing this reading as a supporter of Trump, the candidate for presidency. I am doing this reading with my guides. My guides are working through me to do a reading on Donald J. Trump, the human being. Remember, he's a human being. Donald means ruler of the world. John means God is gracious. Trump, the meaning of the word Trump is one that ranks above others. So like a trump card, if you think of it that way. So as I was shuffling, the Saints and Mystics is what they wanted me to use for him. And as I was shuffling, this card turned sideways in the deck, in my hands. This is Florence Scovel Shinn. As some of you know, if you've watched me before, I've read her book. Her words, her mantras are very important to me. I say at least one of them daily or almost daily. Mostly I have three that I have gravitated towards. But her thing is intuition. She was very intuitive way back when it wasn't accepted. This card turned sideways as I was shuffling, and my guide said, yeah, that's because a lot of Trump's words are turned sideways by haters, by reporters, by sensationalism, by all of those types of things. Remember, this is about Trump the person. Oh, shoot, I should hold that up. This is card number 25, which is a 7, which is reflection, right? The Enchantress of Words Divine. Florence Scovel Shinn was an American writer, artist, and spiritual teacher known for her books on metaphysical studies and philosophies. Florence was a woman who immersed herself in the world of art, illustration, and new thought, which holds the perspective of an infinite intelligence inhabiting universally in all living things. Her authored works center on the connection between the mind and the spirit, by enacting positive thought and verbal affirmations to affect and change one's life conditions, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Florence held well-attended lectures addressing in depth the process and practicality of affirming power from thought to word. Now, with him, he has definitely held well-attended lectures, and I don't know if we call them lectures, rallies. That's usually what they're called. And he does talk a lot about practicality, the practicality of how the U.S. needs to handle finances, relations with other countries, etc., etc. Okay, affirming power from thought and word and applying its issues to attain prosperity, forgiveness, faith, success, and healing. Her concepts of life as a divine game transformed the way people applied their own personal power then and now. Transformative, right? When you think about life the way she did. If you haven't read any of her books, I highly recommend it. Florence banishes negative blockages and repeating counterproductive thought forms created during early conditioning, even as early as childhood. And we can definitely say that Donald Trump has had his share of having to shed negative words, videos, slogan, all the things that have been bombarded at him. He is, in order to persevere and still be out there doing what he's doing, he's definitely had to get rid of those, right? She promotes clarity, optimism, confidence, self-responsibility, and determination to take root within the mind to tackle the hardest of mental blocks. So, as we all know, because everyone, unless your head's been in the sand, you've heard about Donald Trump, all the things that he has been accused of, all the things that he has admitted to doing, all of the things he's been accused of that were lies. All of that stuff plays a part. But remember, he's here to walk this path. This is the path that was chosen for his soul. This is what he signed up to do, okay? Each one of the people that I am reading on, they have signed up to do their duty of this particular path, okay? Next, I was guided to use the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. The first card out, Coming to Life. These are by Colette Baron Reed. It's another deck I have of hers. Coming to Life. And this is a person kind of rising out of, I'm not sure what that is. It's almost like, oh, it's a statue. So the bottom of the statue is the statue, and the top of the statue is human, and she's holding like an orb. 29 is an 11. That's a really special number. So let's see. I haven't pulled very many cards in this deck, so I don't know what they're all about. So we will hear that together. Coming to Life. When you look at your life, can you see how you've grown and evolved over time? Perhaps you've shed skins and identities and created new ones, or at the very least, matured in your ideas about yourself and the world you inhabit. You know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with your own. This card indicates that a long-held dream is beginning to show signs of life. You must try not to coax it along or shape it according to your desires. Spirit knows the best form for the manifestation of this dream, and your life can become even better than you could possibly imagine. Now is the time for reverence and awe. Allow the contours of your path to be carved by the hands of the divine. All you have to do is show up. And we know that Donald Trump definitely shows up, right? He shows up every day in spite of all the things that are hurled at him. I'm just looking. And what this is reminding him of, not that he'll ever see this, is that he needs to go with the flow and sort of not fight against how things are panning out, because his path is divinely guided. Just like all the others, their paths are divinely guided if they open up and listen. The next card out is Cleaning House. 37. That's a 10. Completion of something and then a new beginning. It shows like a person with brooms as feet, and they're cleaning house. It's time to clear the clutter to make way for better things. When you see the Clearing House card in a reading, it's time to declutter your life. Get rid of unwanted things in your physical home and release what you no longer want or truly need. Is there any unfinished business you should address? Thoughts, memories, and emotional baggage must be swept out of your house as well. Your conscience must be clear for you to move freely in the world. And what my guides were giving me just then is if, and I'm getting goosebumps all over, if he is successful in winning the presidency, he must do it with a clean slate and not reflect back on what happened before. That's what I'm hearing. If he is not successful in winning, he must leave and be able to let go of that and move on. Celebrate a spring cleaning and feel the freedom as you make way for much better things. Look at what you've resisted, discarding, and be honest about its value. Be honest and clean house. Wow. So maybe we're going to see some different things revealed about him or from him that have to do with maybe owning up to things or just, being more honest about things. The tarot deck that I was guided to use for him, Wisdom of Avalon. These are oracle cards, but they are tarot-like. They do have tarot cards in them. I don't know why they're called oracle cards, because I think it is a tarot deck. This is another one by Colette Baron Reid, I just realized. I really like her decks. I have 3 of her decks now. This one and the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Enchanted Map Oracle. The messages that she channels for her decks and the people that she gets to illustrate those decks, I mean, the decks are just beautiful. Wisdom of Avalon. Okay, for Donald J. Trump. What do we have for Donald J. Trump in this reading where we are talking about him as a person? We are talking about him as a person, not the political him, but him as a person. Hang on a second. Oh, sometimes these decks get curved and then they're hard to shuffle. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Dragons. Thank you, Mother Mary, for guiding this reading. Thank you to all my guides for being here. Thank you for leading me to do this. I do feel that this is really important, that we remember these people, that they are divine souls, as are all of us, that we need to not be haters, that we need to try and understand that everybody is on their path. There will be a winner and a loser in the election for sure, but everybody is on their path. Sometimes people are catalysts. Sometimes people are catalysts for things to change, for things to be brought to light. We don't know. We don't know what another is doing because we're not walking in their shoes. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my gosh, okay. The Fire Fairy. Okay, another one. Restriction. Sorry, the way my camera's placed, I have to move my hands way up here if you're going to see me shuffle. The Raven. Oh my gosh. All three of them got the Raven. I mean, this is a different deck, so it has a different meaning. But remember, the Raven came out for Kamala, and then it flipped over for J.D. Vance, and now here it is for Donald Trump. All right, let me just set these up here so that I can have room. Interesting. I'm hoping to get going on September readings for each sign. I know the last time I did each sign, I said I didn't know if I was going to continue because they just don't really get the views that these other readings get. The eagle. Wow. Eagle is the symbol of America and the president. Wow. Thank you, Spirit, for guiding this reading, for giving us the message we need about Donald Trump. Thank you. Donald Trump, the person. Donald Trump, the person. And as I said earlier in this, I know there's been a lot of negative things out there about him, but remember, none of us would want the spotlight and cameras running and showing all of our past transgressions, right? I'm not the same person that I was. And I think we had that somewhere in there about shedding the old. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20, 25, definitely not 40 years ago. I am a totally different person based on all of the experiences that I've had and all the things that I've done and all the choices that I've made of what to do, what not to do, who to be with. I mean, there's just so many. Where to live, what job to take. All of those things shape us. And we evolve every hour of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year. Can we have one more card, Spirit, please? Wow, my fingers start to hurt after all this shuffling with these bigger decks because my hands are small. I hope you're all doing well where you are. I hope this is well received. I hope that my viewers, my followers understand why I'm doing this. And I hope you all also understand that I can't refuse my guides. If I do, they just keep on bringing something to the forefront over and over and over. They just don't let up. So I have to do it so I can... Because I volunteered to be a channel for these messages. I volunteered for my guides to use me as the vessel to get messages out to humanity and the collective. Let me stop and shuffle them. Just... One more card, please. You guys know that I never rush this. One more card, please. Okay, that's two. Do you want these? Yep, tingly all over. Whew. Okay. All right. Okay. The Fire Fairy, number 33, creation and collaboration. Creative action and optimism. Creative action and optimism. I'm pretty sure he's optimistic about what's going to happen, right? Restriction, 35. That's an 8. That's mastery, infinity. Restriction. We'll look that up in a minute. The Raven, number 10. Completion of a cycle and start of a new one. Magic, coincidence, synchronistic events. And that's a raven holding on to a skull. Interesting. The Eagle. This is a number 9. This is accomplishment, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realms. All right, so they're telling me that they want these two cards together. I'm sorry, I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in because it seems like they have a different plan for this, apparently. Okay, hang on. These two go together. These two go together. These two go together. And this is by itself. All right, let me... This may take a bit. Oh, there's the raven. I can mark that. What am I looking for? The fire fairy. I'm going to pause this, mark this book, and then I'll come back. I don't want to take up too much time. The video is already long. Okay, guys. All right, so the first pairing is the Queen and the Fire Fairy. Fire Fairy, creative, action, optimism. The Queen, woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships. Fire Fairy is a 30, which is a 3, creation and collaboration. The Queen is a 4, stability or stagnation. All right, so the Fire Fairy, when the Fire Fairy appears on your path, she gives you a gift, a magical sense of energy to help you complete any idea you have that serves the greater good. She signals positive outcomes for your efforts. The Fire Fairy brings you another gift, illumination. When you're in the dark about something, the Fire Fairy lends you her light so that your path will be filled with illumination. All things come to light quickly when the Fire Fairy appears. Wow. The Queen. The Queen appears to remind you of the importance of self-esteem, self-worth, and holding your head high. Wow. Okay. Now is the time to set boundaries with others with gentle authority, yet try not to be isolated from them in the process. The Queen knows how to delegate authority when she needs to. Summon your inner queen and ask for what you need. The Queen also asks whether you're having fun. Maybe you need to read a good book with a cup of cocoa, go to a spa, or make plans with your pals. Look after yourself and remember to nurture your friendships. The Queen knows that she needs allies in the world to sustain her, and in return, she shares her wealth with you. So what they're giving me from these two cards, the Fire Fairy, his path is definitely illuminated. He knows where he needs to go. Since he was young, I'm being given that he has known that his path was not going to be an easy one. That he would be, how do you say it? Scrutinized. But his path has always been there right in front of him. He knows where he's going, what he needs to do. It feels like he knows his purpose. Not all of us do. It feels like he does, right? And with the Queen, it's time to hold your head high and set boundaries. Now, what I'm hearing is the boundaries that he is setting has to do with what he will allow into, like, from what people are saying about him. His boundary is going to be what he lets into his psyche. In other words, he's going to be sort of like an armadillo. Okay, so illuminated path, setting boundaries and holding your head high, right? He knows who he needs to keep close and who he needs to let go of. That's kind of what they're making me feel here. All right, and the next set of cards was the Raven and the Eagle. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. So this is 10 and 9. The Raven came out first, and then the Eagle. They're both looking the same way, if you notice that. So, shoot, hold on a second. Now I've got to find that Raven one again. Okay. It's the very next page, Lisa. Durr. Okay. The Raven. When Raven appears, it is a sign of magic, where coincidence and divine synchronicity bring surprising elements together. The Raven reminds you that on the path to wholeness, the magic of Avalon appears and all things become possible. Wow, wow, wow. Believe in magic and you cannot help but see it. Magic lives within the belief itself. Expect the unexpected and prepare to be amazed. Okay. So the Raven is all about magic and miracles, okay? The Eagle. When the eagle appears, it is a true signal of your connection to the angelic realm. Wow. With the angels' help and guidance, you can soar above life to see the larger vista. The eagle helps you make your choices accordingly with integrity. When you pray to your angels, they will always answer. My head is throbbing right at this moment. And did you hear that horn beep? Yeah. Wow. They patiently wait for you to call upon them for assistance. The angels reside beside you, always hoping to aid humankind in finding peace and manifesting abundance and prosperity. I mean, he's definitely a good manifester of abundance and prosperity, right? He's trying to, as far as what I have seen, and I am being objective, he did want to bring prosperity to America. Now, whether his methods were correct or not, that was his goal. Remember, it was. You can look back at anything. His slogan, "Make America Great Again," that's what he wanted for us. It didn't exactly work out the way he planned, I'm sure. Okay? Eagle asks you to remember to soar high above life and look at the bigger picture. Don't get caught up in the tiny, unimportant aspects of life. Wow. This is also a signal for prayer. It's time for a moment of conscious contact with the divine. Remember that you're always protected and divinely directed. So where the Raven is magic and now I've already forgotten the other word. Magic and synchronicity, right? Surprising elements. The eagle is more about prayer and your connection to the divine. But as we said, the Raven can represent shamanism. The eagle represents America. So, I mean, yeah. Path illuminated, set boundaries, remember the magic of life. The eagle has landed. They keep saying that. The eagle has landed. That's so funny. I don't want to say it because I'm not trying to predict anything by any means. I don't know how this is all going to pan out. But calling on, I'm sure that he prays. I just can't imagine going through what he has gone through and he doesn't have a prayer. Now, prayer may not be getting on your knees and putting your hands in a certain way, but prayer is whatever it is that person needs at that time. Sometimes a prayer is just a conversation, Okay, so next we have card number 35, restriction. That's a 7. And the mystery, card number 52, that's a 7. Both of these are 7s. Wow, okay. And they both look very Celtic, right? So, restriction. This marker brings notice of restriction in all things. You are in a prison of your own making, or at the mercy of that which is temporarily out of reach. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it's been, right? You aren't able to move forward constructively at this time. Okay. Okay. Be patient. Pay attention to the next right action. And sooner than you know, the prison doors will swing open and you will yet again proceed to the greater goal. For now, take this opportunity to rest, taking stock of where you are and from where you've come. Ask the question, how did I get here? What am I not seeing? What needs repairing? So restriction is sort of being in a prison or not being able to go forward right now, but that needing to ask yourself, and this goes right along with the prayer thing, needing to ask yourself, where have I come from and where am I going? And then the mystery. This marker directs you into the unknowable mystery of your journey. It is the sacred place where all things are created but are not yet formed. It points the way to pure power and potential, which meets the magic of intention. It tells you that the magical, unknowable forces of destiny and fate are working in your life. The forces that you can never fully understand or control are indeed weaving their magic around you to help you fulfill your true purpose. You can't, my guides never get it wrong. Remember at the beginning we were talking about all three of these people have a purpose. They're here to do something. There is a warning to be humble here. The mystery reveals itself only when it chooses and not when or how you demand it. So I kind of, it makes perfect sense, those two cards together. Restriction, being in prison, and it's not time yet, but when it's time, all will be revealed. That mystery will be revealed. Wow, this is so intriguing to me. So interesting. And last card out was the Bard. Music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling, and it's another 7. Wow. 777 are the last cards of this reading. And it's so funny because Trump has a lot of casinos, and 777 is kind of a casino number, right? Just funny. I wanted to point that out, or they wanted to point that out. 777 is about luck as well. The Bard. This card represents music, storytelling, and the passing of truth, myth, and legend from generation to generation through the spoken word or song. In ancient Avalon, the traditions and stories of the people were gathered on leaves that served as letters in a living alphabet and were tended in vast, long houses. Wow, I didn't know that. So they wrote their stories on leaves. Druids and priestesses came to read and weave the stories of magic and the sacred relationship to the god, goddess, and the mystery. Those schooled in the art of music and storytelling were given the task of informing their word and keeping the stories of their culture alive. They were given the name of Bard. When the Bard appears, you're asked to seek answers in your personal history. Go back into your own story and find the threads of the patterns in your reality. Trace their length to the present. Perhaps you'll be surprised by how much of your past or that of your ancestors still weaves its influence on you today. Wow. Wow. I'm blown away by this whole thing, to be honest. So we started out with Florence Scovel Shinn, which has everything to do with words, and we end with the Bard, which has everything to do with words. So what I'm hearing here is that he should be careful with his words, as should we and everyone. You can't take back words, okay? So remember to be non-judgmental, to look at this person with love as a person, as a human being, as a fellow God source individual, okay? He is on his path. He is fulfilling his purpose. And as I said, I got a huge feeling that he knows what his purpose is, right? Remember, coming to life. coming from a statue into animation, cleaning house, cleaning things up, right? Illuminated path, setting boundaries, magic is all around you. The eagle was need for prayer, need for connecting with the divine. Restriction was sort of being in prison and not being able to go forward right now. Mystery will be revealed when the time is right. And the bard telling your story, keeping your ancestors alive, going back to your roots, to your threads to see what that has to do with where you are now for Donald Trump, right? Okay, well, there are lots of animals. Well, not lots of animals, I guess. There's a raven and an eagle. So let's see what from the animal oracle is going to come out for Donald Trump. And I do hope, as I said, that you have taken this message the way it was intended from my guides, which is to bring some humanness to these people that are in the spotlight, that are going to have to endure, a lot of name calling and dragging through the mud and all of these things to try to walk their path, to try to fulfill their purpose, no matter what it is, right? Maybe none of these people will end up being the president. I don't know. But what I do know is that we're being asked to look at them as human beings, to send them love, and to not get caught up in all of the gossipy things, right? Okay. You know what I just noticed? 2, 4, 6, 7 cards. 7, 7, 7, 7. That's really important. All right, so with the animal oracles, 1 card came out upside down, so maybe not as prominent, and 3 cards flew out of the deck. All right, so let's look at these in order. Oh my gosh. Okay, peacock, vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. They just gave me that in this case, this is how Trump sees women. Beautiful, brilliant peacocks. He loves women. He's admitted that. He's admitted that he hasn't always been an upstanding, integral person when it comes, or a person with integrity when it comes to women, but nonetheless, he loves women. Sea otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living. I can't imagine seeing him being playful, but maybe he needs to. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love awaits. I think his wife really does love him. She definitely came right to his defense when the attempted assassination took place. Black jaguar, old soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. I do believe he's an old soul, and I do believe he volunteered for what he is doing and what he has done down here in Earth School. I do believe that his soul knew that this was going to be a hard road, right? I mean, anyway, look, eagle, mastery. Can't believe it. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. I'm not sure if it inspires the world, but he is a very intelligent person. So he got eagle twice. Raven, eagle, eagle. Mastery, magic, prayer, divine connection. Okay, guys, well, that was really interesting. All 3 of these human beings deserve our kindness, our non-judgment, our love to send to them. Send them love and strength and peace, okay? We need this to be a peaceful election season in America. We do not need any of the antics that have gone on in the past, okay? So please, please, everyone, take this into consideration. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.